Okay. Good evening once more, and welcome to tonight's session. I've captured a product backlog for HaloITSM because, as we all know, as we are agreed, we are going to implement HaloITSM as it is in the business case. We agreed to do that. So, and the next thing after that is to start trying to understand the solution we are going to implement and how we are going to, what do we need to configure and what do we need to achieve? What are the features we are planning to get to configure to start working for us? So, and to do that, we need a good product backlog. Both product backlog is requirement. Call it, you can call it, in other words, maybe if you are working in agile environment, in waterfall environment, you can call it technical requirement. But in agile environment, it's called product backlog. To have a product backlog for HaloITSM, every solution or every product should have a backlog. This will help you to understand what to do. So what we are going to do is to look at the backlog, and we look at the HaloITSM as a solution or as a software product, and even get to understand this product we are talking about. As a business analyst, you need to understand solutions. Any solution you are planning to implement, you need to understand it very well, because you are going to be the person to be answering all the questions, because you know more about that solution than any other person. And that's why they call business analyst a software engineer, because you design, you do everything. So planning stage is like a design stage where we are designing what we are going to implement in the execute stage. So let's get started and look at this service catalog. This product backlog. Yeah, I hope you can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
this is the solution. The solution we are going to implement for our clients. So, and that is HaloITSM. So, is one of the top solution in the market when it comes to ITSM. And number one is ServiceNow. You know, this one is not so complex. One problem with ServiceNow is it's very robust, but a bit complex to configure. But this, and equally very costly. ServiceNow is very costly. But this is, it gives you everything that ServiceNow will give you, and is a bit easier to configure, and a lot of even large enterprise. Before, it used to be for small and medium enterprise, but now big enterprises are beginning to use it. So many people see that instead of wasting a huge amount of money in service now, this will give you the kind of value you are looking for. So let's look at the features here. This is the way you see the features that we are looking for. And this solution can be used in so many environments. Like you can see here, it can be used in public sectors. It can be used in educational environment, finance, and healthcare, and so many areas. You can use it in so many areas. And this is it. You can use this. They have different modules. This is IT service management. And this is, they have HR management, they have facility management, they have enterprise management, they have customer
Service.
customer service, that is Halo CRM. So, and when they started as a ITSM solution, but they are growing and they started adding more features now. So that is growth. So you see now they are calling it, you see this one, they call it here Halo CRM and the rest. So they are growing. They are no longer, they're not a very big company. So, and yeah, so that is it. So let's go to area that we are more interested, the features that we have in this. So it's very difficult to see free. They will have free ITSM solutions, but if we go and try to leverage on that free, we might not really get what we are looking for, because we are getting this to work for big companies, you know, and this is, if you can't lay your hands on service now, then this is okay for you. So we are going to leverage on free. So they have 2 weeks to understand it. So that is most of the time if you are working for a client, it's better to use the free trial to try it out to see if the client will like it. And after then, if they like it after 2 weeks, then you have to pay. If you don't pay, then you lose the license. So that's what we're going to. Once we've planned our work, everything, so 2 weeks is enough for us to to sign up and do whatever we want to do for the purpose of this lesson or this boot camp. Then if we want to keep it, then it's up to us to keep it. But that is so let's look at the modules they have on their ITSM solution. So here we have incident management, and these are going to form the basis for our product backlog. Our product backlog is going to be based on this, because this is what we are going to use to be managing various incidents. From here, we do a lot of configuration on various incidents that will be coming from the BetaMarketplace. Then we'll have knowledge base. Knowledge base is like frequently asked questions or how to do articles where you have a lot of knowledge articles so that these support agents, if there is incidents, so many of them, all they do is the incidents they are resolving, they will just look at the article. So many of the time they will be reading the article and they will be resolving the incidents. You know, that's how it happens at times. So we need to build a lot of knowledge base. Equally, why knowledge base is good is that some people, all you just need to is forward the article for them to read and you resolve. Company like Microsoft, they have big knowledge base system. We call it help center or this, and so all you need to do is go read up and solve your problem. Even Facebook, you hardly see people Facebook responding to anybody. All you need is go to their help center and sort yourself out. All those areas is what we call knowledge base. Then we have self-service portal. Self-service portal is where you need to log in order to submit your incidents. And from the self-service portal, the incidents, the user that is submitting the incident, from there you can monitor your incidents, track the progress of your incidents and their status. And service level agreement is where we are going to configure and automate the service level agreement based on so many incidents coming from different units based on what we agreed on our service catalog. So that is it. And we equally have they have problem management, they have change control, they have service catalog. From their service catalog here, that is where we are going to create a catalog inside this software, but we are going to use our own service catalog as a blueprint to create a service catalog here. So all the documents we have been creating, they are blueprints to help us run this solution very well. But you find out, like in the company that I implemented this, they didn't have any catalog. They don't have service catalog. They are just people are just sending incidents and they are just resolving, and they don't even have service portal. So all they do is that they have a support email. With the support email, like the support email help like work like if you have an issue, you can say support at BetaMarketplace.com. So once you send email to support at, the email is automatically coming to the portal. So that is, but you that is sending the email, you are not going to have visibility onto how your incidence is progressing because it's just an email. But if you come to the portal and submit an incident from the portal, you have the opportunity to monitor your incidents and know the progress. So that is the main difference, which this is better option. And they have artificial intelligence. They have CMB configuration management. There are so many, and you see here another thing I want you to see here: build for ITIL aligned service delivery and standardizing process. So it supports ITIL, which is the framework we are using. So that is why we are using. We're happy with this. And if you come down here, you see big companies using this as well. You see Microsoft is using this as well. Microsoft is a big corporation. They can use even so many solutions, so that they don't want, so many of the solutions they are using can be backups, but you can see Microsoft, they are using this. Sony Music, University of Cambridge, Sky, Siemens, Wolseley. These are big companies. So even Trump. So these are big companies using service now. So that is it for us. So I joined this just to give us insight about this particular solution. And now here, try HaloITSM free for 30 days. Now they have increased it for 30 days. The first time I configured this, I've configured this so many times, but the first time and even the second time and the third time is 15 days. It's just 2 weeks prior. But now they've is now 1 month. That is very good. Yeah. So I expect us to go and read up, understand this more. You know, as a service manager, you must understand at least 2 or 3 solutions like this very well. You know, so after this, you might explore something like ServiceNow. We'll have Freshdesk, we'll have Zendesk, we have so many of them out there. So having navigated around their websites, let us look at our product backlog. So, sorry, please give me some time to plug my charger. Okay, this is our catalog. So
They can't be a smart one. A smartwatch. That's what the smartwatch.
So how many of us have not seen a catalog, a product backlog before? So we've shared this in so many of our It's only the latest class we have that have not other classes. They've should see how we structure. So this is the product backlog. So product backlog is why I capture a peak in all the product backlog, because it helps to really give a foundation where they are coming from, where all the PBIs or features, where they are coming from. So if I just bypass these epics and be capturing incidents, it might not really look detailed. So that's why we have feature, we have epic, we have a feature, and we have a product backlog, which is user story. So if we are breaking it down, it's just like epic is the main category, then feature is the subcategory, and PBI means product backlog items, means which can be equally used as story or tags or bug in sub category. So in the order of hierarchy, that is how it flow in. In the order of hierarchy, epic is number 1, feature is number 2, and product backlog item is number 3. So that is it. And the product backlog, every product backlog, you need to give a description. You know, I like to add a description. Some of them might not really give you description. All you just see is you see PBI and acceptance criteria. But with this, a developer cannot say that this is not detailed enough to do his or her work. And we equally have acceptance criteria. Acceptance criteria is a benchmark. So if during the configuration, if you couldn't get to the point of this benchmark, then it's not going to be accepted. So that is what we use for testing, UAT testing. So that is it. So what we are going to be doing today, tomorrow, we are going to be looking at another document called test cases. So once we are done with that, the next thing we would have to start our configuration. So by next week, we should be able to start our configuration. So it means we are progressing. So now PBI here can be used as stories. We can be bug. It can be tags. But here we have user stories. And the user story, here the first user story under ticket login is, as a user, I want to log incidents easily. So description, enable user to report incidents and provide details such as category, priority, and description. And the acceptance criteria, after configuring this for us to pass this, the acceptance criteria here says user can log incidents via service portals or email or phone. You know, when I was telling you that in my former, they use email. So you can use email to submit incidents. But the best way is to go through direct to the service portal. Some people can use phone. You can use phone to log incidents. But if you are using a phone to log in on incidents, for instance, if you are working from home and you have a situation and you want to log incidents, you can call your office on phone and log incidents on phone. And the person is the first line that is going to receive the phone call, they will write your incidents down and they will log the incidents on your behalf. That's how it works. To have by phone, agents can manage incidents life cycle. So once incidents is logged, agent, which is the first line support, second line support, third line, no matter depending on the line of support you people want, should be able to manage the incident from the back end. And this is user story. The user story here is please let me quickly
It's like he's experiencing some difficulties. He's back.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can, sir.
Yeah, sorry guys. I received a call and I equally started having network issues. So let's get back to where we are. So I was trying to demo the product backlog. So yeah, like I said, I'm trying to talk about user story. So when we talk about I told you guys that when we have a PBI can be let's say it can be user story, it can be task, it can be bug. So that is PBI. So that's PBI means product backlog items. And that is the best name to use if you are creating a backlog, because we know all these things are part of the things that comes in the backlog within that's PBI. So, but the only thing is that once you, for instance, here you can see what we've captured here is a user story. So if you capture user story here, then here is where you need to differentiate whether it's a user story, whether it's bug, whether it's a, you can come here. That's why I see I select either tax or user story. Or if I edit it, I can equally add bug. So can equally add bug here. So here we have let me add another one and call it bug. And if it's tax, we can say tax can be yellow, user story can be green, and bug can be red. And yeah, say done and apply to all. So that's the way you can differentiate if it's a user story, whichever one, if it's bug or is tax you're working on, which everything you have here is user story. Then have story point. Story point is the estimation of how complex this a particular product backlog item can be. So say 1 is the easiest and 10 is the most complex. So when you are estimating you are refining with developers, it's important to give it a story point. That will give us the idea of the amount of work we have. And is important. In Scrum, we call it velocity. It helps us to get to understand our velocity. Velocity is the amount of work the team can consume at a sprint. So that's it. So that is it for here. So we can, during the sprint planning, that's when the team decide the amount of work they have. So that is when this one comes very handy. So, and priority, you see we have so many features, we have so many detailed epic here we are working on. Then we must prioritize our work. For instance, incident management is the major work here. We have incident management, then we have service request. Then I'll talk about incident management and service requests in a moment to give us, but there are so many like this AI chat box. These are not, at the moment, this is not in our priority. This is not a must. Is good to have. You know, when we say good to have, if we want to give it must have, say this must have can be green, and good to have can be this, and must not have. So this will help us to prioritize our work. So, and that's how this prioritization should be. So some of these ones that are good to have, say good to have, they are not a must. These are, but there's some that are like service portal is very important, is a must have. Incident management is a must have. Change management, but we might say change management might be good, just good to have. And knowledge base. So this will help us to, in case we have so much work here and we have limited time, so we can focus on the most important, which is incidents management and incidents management and service requests. Service request is when they are requesting something from the ITSM unit. Like, you know, in most of the ITSM unit, is the duty of the ITSM unit to provide laptop for the new joiners. Like somebody is joining a company for the first time, the HR will request for a laptop and phone, or we call it work toolkit or toolbox or whichever. So, but it's the duty of HR to request it. So when HR requests laptop or phone on behalf of an employer, we call it service request. So you can see it's different from incident, and incident is issue situation. So that is how this we can use this tool. And then when you create your work in Jira, it's good to capture the Jira ID as well, so that from here we are talking about this, we can say, okay, let's go to this particular item. We can use the unique identifier and go to Jira and locate the work so easily. Why this is important is that in some cases you might have up to 2,000 PBI in your Jira environment, and when you start scrolling down, up and down, all you need to do is use this ID. You type in the ID and it will bring the particular PBI you are looking for. So that's why it's good to have this as well. And then the work status. As your work progresses, whichever one you can say, for instance, yes, it's not started, 50% completion, 75% completion, and 100% completion. You can equally give it a coloration to make it look, can say 50% and 75% and 100% completion. And yeah, so, and with that, that is if we just can say 50%. So this is a product backlog. I'm just taking time to explain this a bit. So, but we already know how product backlog works. So this is it. So what we are going to be, this is a must for us. We must configure the incidents management, tickets, login feature very well. So we must configure it very well. And under incidents management, we have ticket login, we have service level agreement compliance, and then we'll have service request. Under service request, we have service request. Under change management, we'll have change tracking. Under knowledge base, we have knowledge base articles where we will have to create so many. So it's under knowledge base, which we see as a user, I want to access helpful article. So this will just creating articles that will help users resolve incidents. And then we have asset management. Asset management is another aspect of IT service management. So, but we have HaloITSM and our term IT, and that is access service management, not asset. They call it asset service management, not incidents this time around. So, and then we'll have reporting and analytics. So that one is always there to help us understand the. So then we'll have vendor management, where if we are integrating. This is good to have. Over time, we might want to integrate our ITSM with other like HR software. So my it's okay, because all the time the HR, they are sending us email about new joiners, new staff, to make provisioning for the new staff. Instead of them sending us email all the time, all we need to do is integrate this ITSM with any of the software the HR is using, so that immediately HR, they are onboarding a new staff, automatically will trigger up for us, and we know that we have a new staff who starts provisioning for the new staff. And when a staff is leaving, automatically it will trigger and we start disabling all the staff access to sensitive areas. Even their email will disable all of them. So that is where the vendor management comes in. Then we have self-service portal. Self-service portal, I will talk about it, and AI chatbots. AI is this will help us. Like these days, AI are beginning to be integrated in a lot of. So you can see if you're having issue, if you resolve incidents, or if you can start chatting with AI, and AI can help you to resolve your incidents even without getting to the service agent. And service level agreement is important as well. And we'll have priority queue. Under priority queue, organize tickets in agent dashboard based on the priority of the SLA. So some of these things are going to be good for us to, you see, good to have. But when we have a lot of workload, they are not the most important. But this is our service product backlog based on what we need to configure and achieve within the ITSM or HaloITSM. So that is it. So I will upload this document for you to have a look, review, and if you see any error or mistake, well, then we can correct it before we start implementing. So that is what I'm going to do. So now I'm going to send it to the platform for us to get a copy of it and review it. So review it, and yeah. Right here. All right. I'll send a copy of this document. A copy of it's in our platform now. So if you have any question, then you can ask your question. So that is what we have. So if you review it and have any question or have any remark, so then you send the feedback and we'll work on it. So by tomorrow, we should be looking at text cases that will be attached to this product backlog. Once the test cases, they are ready, we review everything. By next week, we have to open up, sign up accounts in a Jira where we are going to start configuration. Okay, Ofo, you are raising your hand.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for the information and the training. The area I was looking at is this product backlog now, and you've answered part of my question, which is the Jira I wanted to ask you. If you want to move the product backlog to Jira, what I want should be there, because I realize that some of the epic feature PBI. Will all these things need to be in the Jira, or you just put all the features there?
Yeah, in Jira, we can just Jira before, Jira used to have Epic, but these days Jira shrank it to just so in this case, if it shrank, then you capture from tickets login down here. After all, we have this blueprint. So everything is not automatic, you know. So you customize and you adapt, you know, more especially if you don't have control over that particular software. So if you have a more scalable, then we'll capture both incidents management, and then we'll capture this as well. But in a situation where there is no such, we just capture ticket login and capture the user stories. Okay, Mr. Charles.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, good evening, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, where I want to ask question is on the story point.
Okay.
That is the effort. It's
Yes.
a calculation of the effort you will put
Yes.
in doing one of the user stories.
Yes.
There's a literature I was going through after we finished the business analysis. So it's from one Indian distance. So he was saying that they use a sequence, a series called Fibonacci series to calculate this story point.
Yeah, just forget all those things. They are just things very complex.
Okay.
Story points, you know, all those statistics, all those calculations. These are the people that scare people away from IT.
Okay, sorry, sir.
You know, the easiest way to calculate story point, what is story point? Effort.
Effort, yes.
And then in this situation here, we agree. The team will agree. Some team will say that their story point will be a scale of 1 to 100. Some say that their scale is going to be a 1 to 50. But I like to make things simple. 1 to 10 is okay. And within this 1 to 10, we have a team. In the Scrum team, maybe we'll have the developer, we'll have business analysts, we'll have other people. That's when we're having a meeting, these are the team that will decide. But the only person, the major person that will determine the story point is the developer. You, the Scrum Master, you cannot come and tell the developer the story point for this incidents ticket login. To configure this ticket login is going to be 5 points. Are you the person doing the work? How do you know the complexity? You know, but in a case we have like 2 or 3 developers, then, and everybody saying, so what we do is we vote. We have like a notepad where you can say everybody writes your story point. Do the estimation, everybody do the estimation of what we think is going to be the number 1 story point. If we are 3, some people will write 5, some people will write 10, some people will write. So at the end of the day, to make sure that every voice is carried on, we use the average to determine the story point. Are you getting it?
I'm getting it, sir.
And so, with that, everybody's input has been captured during the grooming. We are grooming this user story to make sure we understand the effort to deliver this particular. So that is the best way to do that. Forget all those Fibonacci, the same, all those. I've done all those things. Doesn't add anything. It doesn't even make meaning. You know. So this is the easiest way and is the best. Make your work simple.
Yeah, also in priority, they use the Moscow analysis to do priority.
Yeah, Moscow analysis is what we use here. This is Moscow analysis as well. So you can see we use Moscow must have. So
should have. Okay, thank you, sir.
No worries. Okay, we are there. So the document is there for you. Review it. and you can chat me immediately, or by tomorrow you can, if you have any feedback, you can bring your feedback, like anything, error, mistake, typography, or you feel like it should be done this way or the other way. So once the approval is given by you guys, the service managers, I will proceed to configuration. All right, thank you for joining, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Good night.
Yeah.